Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Geeks and Degenerates. Today we're ranking our favorite Spider-Man films. With me as always is Jomar and Seb. So we all agree it's No Way Home, that's all, that's the video. The last video was 3 hours. This is it, goodbye folks. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, since Tom Holland has wrapped up his trilogy, we're here to talk about our favorite Spider-Man movies and some of our favorite moments, and maybe some of the villains and some of the side characters. So, to settle this once and for all, who's your favorite Spider-Man actor? 3, 2, 1. Tom Holland.
Thomas.
Second.
Thomas.
But we're not even in sync.
Yeah. As you said before, it's Tom and Andrew.
Alright, end the video now.
Yeah.
That's it, that's the video. See you guys.
Yeah, pretty much it.
I woke up at 11 a.m. for this.
But for me, at least, the moment Tom appears on screen and starts acting and talking, you're like, wow, I think they're gonna get this one right. I think the Spider-Man's gonna be the one that everybody's gonna be like, this is our definitive Spider-Man.
And would you expect like a British kid start speaking in a Boston accent so well?
Queens.
The fuck you mean Boston?
My bad. Sorry, I got mixed up.
That's a terrible misinterpretation to make. Remember who the Yankees' #1 fucking rivals are.
Got it. People in New York, I don't care.
I like this kid. He's doing it right now, finally.
But like, yeah, he has an amazing Queen's accent, so I'm like, shit, nobody fucking noticed that this kid is actually British. Especially with Andrew Garfield, I would say.
He's actually British.
British.
Anyway, I think he also has the coolest father figure in Tony Stark. Like, out of all the father figures these Spider-Man's had, Tony's the one that's like, what?
That's not fair. That's not fair. For every Spider-Man we've ever gotten before this one, he literally lasted like a few fucking minutes.
Just 5 minutes and gets shot. And
yeah, he was alive a few movies longer than the others, so he wins in length.
Wait, so
you can't just
technicality.
You can't just base a good Spider-Man father figure on the basis of tenure. Like, oh, have you ever seen an Uncle Ben action figure sell more than an Iron Man action figure?
This Ben has a suit of armor.
I mean, fine, to be fair to the other Uncle Bens, their insides weren't cooked like longanisa, so there's that.
What do you mean? How are they cooked like longanisa?
So, when he snapped.
But in all seriousness, he did rephrase the old saying, with great power comes great power comes great responsibility, and if you're
great cowards.
If you're nothing without the suit, then
you shouldn't have it.
You shouldn't have it. Which I kind of like. I like that.
I'm not sure that that's like a good replacement for with great power comes great responsibility. I think May still did it better.
Yeah.
She actually fucking said it. But like, I mean, it's a good lesson for Peter. You know? You know, if you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it. I'm naked! That's a fair enough point to make, I think.
It gives him a I love New York shirt.
I love New York, yes. You think a billionaire would have more clothes than that lying around? No.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, in the Quinjet, in Thor Ragnarok, he had a suit, a full-on suit at the back for Bruce Banner to wear, but here, he just bought him, like, I love New York shirt and some pajamas.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he was trying to punish him.
That's true. That's
maybe. Are we just going straight into Tom and just being like, no, we can...
the others don't matter no more.
We're ranking the Spider-Man movies, but there's already an obvious bias towards one of them.
I would say he performed the best. Wait, okay.
It's
I can't say that, because
Tom
if-
and Andrew are like
if it's all around like good movies with amazing Spider. Not
Actually,
amazing
a lot
Spider-Man,
of
good
people make a lot of arguments. Like, I personally, like, despite loving Tom, actually
man.
haven't watched Far From Home and Homecoming too many times again after seeing it the first time. Like, they're not the most rewatchable of movies, and they're somewhat a little boring in certain places. Far From Home, a lot less than Homecoming, definitely. But to this day, the one that I have seen the most number of times is still anything that Tobey did. But, like, not for the same reasons that most people would. Like, I watch Tobey's because his is the funniest. Like, not intentionally, but, like, there's a lot to make fun of when you watch Tobey's Spider-Man. From, Green Goblin's again and again and again line, to Flash Thompson's I don't want to fight me neither, to just so many weird things about Tobey's movies. They're so campy. They're what would have happened if Adam West's Batman was perfected. You know?
Yeah.
Go Web Go was hilarious. It's fucking
Just
iconic. Tobey dancing across the streets of New York, side parting his hair to make himself look emo, despite the fact that no matter what you do with that hair, that's still Tobey Maguire.
On this. But I swear, I don't know what's up with Spider-Man 3 though. Like, did executives really think like this is what cool is?
They rushed it.
Yeah,
They rushed it.
and they forced...
Raimi did not want to put, to my knowledge, at least Venom he didn't want to put.
Okay.
I don't know if Sandman was his original idea, but he definitely did not want to include Venom.
I feel like Sandman was his original idea because it ties in back to the first one.
Yeah, I feel like it's just supposed to be New Goblin and Sandman. And then Venom was Sony's shutting it down. Yeah. Because
it's still a good movie because it's funny as well.
It's the funniest of all.
I would say it's the funniest of all. Like you know how Marvel tries to make us laugh here. This one was trying to be serious and made us laugh. Yeah.
I have, like, I feel about Spider-Man 3 the way I feel about Clooney's Batman. Like, the memes just heavily outweigh the movie. Like, how much the movies made me laugh has horribly outweighed the fact that it probably isn't a good movie.
I'm
And 3.
You said 2.
Oh, well, 3.
well, 2 has my butter.
That's Iron Man.
Yeah.
Butter?
He said Iron Man 2. So I said, well, Iron Man 2 has bird.
Oh, we're talking about Spider-Man.
Before you mentioned Iron Man 3, never mind.
We didn't. Were we talking about Iron Man 3? No, we're
I
talking
don't
about.
remember
I
ever
heard
talking
Iron
about
Man 3, sorry.
We're talking about Spider-Man. This is the
the whole
title
video
of
is
the video.
about Spider-Man. This is your idea.
No, because I heard Iron Man 3, I'm like, why are we talking about Iron Man 3? I'm just going to say, well, Iron Man 2
No,
has bird.
he said he said Spider-Man 3.
Alright.
You said I said Spider-Man 2.
I said he said Spider-Man 2, but he was
We're
actually
having
talking
this
about Spider-Man 3.
conversation right now. Right the fuck now.
Going back to our regular program, yes, I think Spider-Man 3 is pretty funny because of the memes.
I think 11 is too early.
I mean, Tobey's Spider-Man has so many inadvertently funny moments. Like, even at 2, you can name a couple things. Punch me, I bleed. Day by day.
My back. Oh, my back.
Well,
I'm back. I'm back. Boom. My back. My back.
Going back to mentors for a bit, I know I said Tony is at least my favorite mentor, but I feel like I love how Martin Sheen feels like a drill sergeant. It's Amazing Spider-Man. Like, yes, Uncle.
Did you say Martin Sheen?
Yeah,
That's Martin Sheen?
yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, Shane's appropriate since he was in Apocalypse Now.
Shit, so this guy's winning?
That's Charlie.
No, I mean, like, he's a Sheen still.
Yeah, that is true.
So, same family.
Yeah.
I did not notice that was Martin Sheen.
Actually, yeah, this is the first time I actually recognized Martin Sheen. It was like in Amazing Spider-Man. And I was like, oh.
Dude,
And
now
then-
that I'm thinking about it, I was like, I have no idea how they didn't spot that this was Charlie Sheen's brother.
And then like I started seeing him in like Departed and like some other series. And I was like, oh shit, this guy's actually really good.
Yeah.
It's not just Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben.
This Uncle Ben has a rougher cut to him. Like, I don't want to piss this guy off.
Yeah.
And again, rephrasing the great power comes great responsibility, where it's like, if you could go do good, you have a moral obligation to do something.
That's just the same thing, just in different words.
Yeah. They're like, how do we say it but not say it? There you go.
Like the way they've said the variations of the line. Because, like, the only reason with great power there must also come great responsibility is that Spider-Man's a thing. If he never existed, then any variation of this is incredibly valid. Like, you could say that if you have the capacity to do good, then it is your responsibility to do that good. Like, you could say that is just, the non-name brand version of with great power must also come great responsibility. But I do think that if you were in a situation where that phrase was not so commonly known, then the other one makes a shit ton of sense still. And not like you're convolutedly trying to say something else. I would say that. Because I'm a fucking words guy for some reason. But yeah. It makes sense to me. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. But we're talking about Andrew Garfield's like Spider-Man now, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's fun to see with the sheet.
You guys mentioned the band. I'm just rolling with your punches.
Also trying to roll with this punch as well, so like, alright, let's just go on.
You guys want to just punch each other?
It's all dead.
I wouldn't want to fight. I wouldn't want to fight me neither. I just turn off my camera and show you guys Flash Thompson.
No, but like, I don't know. I would say for Andrew Garfield though, I think this is the one where it was the most relatable. Because for me, in my opinion, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was like, I didn't feel like he was a teen. Because back in the day where 2000s
None of
were
them
like,
were teens. None of them were.
no, none of them. Yeah, exactly. Like back in the 2000s, they were like, oh, let's hire these 20-plus-year-olds to play these 17 to 15-year-olds because they were in high school in the first one. They're on a field trip,
Yeah.
and then he goes to college on the second one. But like here, it actually does feel like, they still look like they're in college or 20-something-year-olds, but it does
Yeah,
feel
they
like a
all
teen
look they
drama.
got held back. We're like, I guess you skipped a year.
Yeah. Especially Flash Thompson.
You
Yeah,
got these
exactly.
You got these two fuckers almost hitting their 30s, pretending they're still in high school. They do all look like they're pushing 30. Fuck, I'm pushing 30 in a couple of years.
Same here.
I still need like around 7 more years.
I know you guys are young.
Well,
Okay, I'm perfectly aware you guys are fucking young.
But yeah, I think for high school, Andrew and Tom Holland are like the most relatable.
Andrew and Tom Holland is the most relatable because it does feel like teen drama as
Yeah.
90210 kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
No matter what you say about their high school lives, about them believably being in their teens, there's one thing about Amazing Spider-Man that will always be better than every other Spider-Man that's ever been. That is the best Flash Thompson we've ever gotten.
Okay. It does look like a Flash Thompson that would actually enlist into the Vietnam War.
No, and he's so human.
Yeah, I love the scene where.
Oh yeah, he does change.
After
That
Uncle
is the
Ben
best-
dies,
Yeah, that's the best Flash Thompson scene I've ever seen. Walking up to Peter and Peter just fucking pushing him against the wall, and going like, "Oh, this is the Peter Parker I fucked with a couple months ago, but I accept it. I'm sorry, Uncle Dad. I just walked up to you to say I'm sorry, Uncle Dad. You want to play some basketball?"
You're pretty good. Look, I got shirt of Spider-Man. You like Spider-Man?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know where you're going.
Jen.
I don't know where you're going, Ed.
I just kind of did a voice.
I got it wrong.
Like, I know his voice. I'm like, where are you going?
Every time you go with like Cartman from South Park, so I'm like, should I do a voice too?
I'm sorry, Father Dad. I didn't mean to play it. I'm sorry, Uncle Dad. I'm sorry I've been there, Peter.
Touch me, I bleed.
Put me up, please.
It's also,
Respect House of
it's also nice where Peter meets his love interest, well, one being Gwen and the other two being MJ's. And then going back and rewatching the movies, I think I prefer Andrew and Emma Stone more.
The romance there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the love interests of every movie of Spider-Man, or just compared to Tobey's?
Overall.
Overall. Because we don't get much of, I would say, compared to like what Andrew had with Emma Stone. Like, you didn't get much with Zendaya and Tom Holland. Until, like, No Way Home, they finally started, like, showing.
Yeah, get hints of it in
think-
Far From Home, and then No Way Home, you're like, oh, they're a couple now.
Well, Homecoming, it was a totally different girl.
Yeah.
I think no, there were hints of it in Homecoming. Then the chemistry was very much fleshed out in Far From Home. Then they kind of just executed on the relationship as time went on with, let's say,
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Like, they were already in a relationship by then, and you understood the love. No, I get it. Like, of all of the love interests, like, you could make an argument, and I will present it now, that it felt a little rushed. Like,
Yeah.
it felt a little too deep, too fast between two people who didn't really know each other.
Yeah.
But Zendaya and Tom, they presented each other as two people who have. You know, and that to me, like, the chemistry was so there because you
Yeah.
didn't know whether it was gonna happen or not. And when it did, it felt the way two people who've known each other for a while would actually date.
I mean, No Way Home was like a click.
It's
Some
subtle.
parts were like a couple of months, like, has passed kind of deal.
Yeah,
There were those scenes.
Mhm.
So yeah, I can see that.
No, but like Tom was also just getting used to shit like this. Like, if this happens immediately after Far From Home, this is like what, a couple of days. After
Yeah.
they were in a relationship. But it makes, to me, it makes sense. The relationship was more slow burn than the others, and then when it happened, it wasn't like, you know, a Romeo and Juliet. Oh my God, I love you. You are the most wonderful person I met in my life. Like, it was really chill. It was really chill, and I feel like that's a lot more realistic, especially with, you know, the generation of kids who are, you know, known to be awkward. Like, Andrews did not feel awkward once they fell into it. They're just like, oh my God, I love you so much.
Yeah, I
You
would
know?
say like that hallway scene with the lockers. I was like, this is so awkward and it's taking so fucking long.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is this?
What was this? What's the discussion that they had here?
I don't know. I think it was like,
Is it the one about her being his wallpaper?
Yeah, like he has you on your computer. He's like, I was
Yeah,
just
and
touching
like-
stuff up. Like you were touching stuff up. Like, I'm not gonna answer that.
and he has a skateboard. He was like doing this, scratching his head like a lot. And I'm like,
I do find that a bit unrealistic. That scene, I find a bit of their love a bit unrealistic, but I kind of get it, I guess. Like, they had a very palpable relationship, but like there were certain scenes that I was like, if that was real life, I think that would have been seen as creepy.
It was. It would.
Because like, if I believe in my own situation and in my own right mind, if I just found out this guy I just started talking to had me as his wallpaper for a while, to be like, ha ha, ha, gotta go, gotta go, see you some other time being fucking never, bye. That's how
And
that's
then
how I
you meet him
believe I
at
would
work.
react. Yes. What? How'd he know I work here? Emma Stone was like, are you stalking me? Every other girl would be like, security.
Help!
I think stalking.
No, but like, you get what I mean. Like, objectively, it's a bit creepy. That's why, to me, like, despite the fact that, like, she's Michelle Jones Watson, apparently, I did not find, I loved moments of Andrew and Zendaya, but I think the most natural love story is still Tom and Andrew and Emma.
Yeah.
I still think Tom and Zendaya is the most natural of all the love stories, or the Spider-Man relationships that have graced the movie so far.
Okay.
But their movies were their moments were so good, mostly in 2.
Yes.
Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, they had a lot of good moments there. Amazing Spider-Man 1, it's just accepting this is creepy, and that they're accepting this is creepy, and you're just gonna be like, well, I'm hoping for the best.
The shit he's doing is creepy as fuck, but he's cute.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's crazy as long as he's handsome.
That's true. Every girl wants that. They don't want their creepy stalker to be ugly.
Yeah, they really do.
Right.
As a person who's experienced having a stalker before, there is an effect to that stalker not being ugly. But it doesn't, like, retract from the issue of, did you just tell me about things you saw of me that, like, were posted, like, 2-3 years ago?
How do you know my blood type?
Something like that. Definitely something like that. In my experience, it's scary. I'll elaborate later, but like,
Okay.
you know, like, he's Andrew Garfield, you know, so I guess people are just gonna accept that he does creepy shit. But at least they were romantic too.
Yeah.
I still love that scene though, where they're like trying to like make his webs like electric resistant, and then he just attaches it to the hood of the cars. Like,
Him making his web fluid in his room was one of the coolest Spider-Man scenes I've ever seen.
Yes.
I'm like fucking up. Yeah, I don't know that shit.
Dude, when he first made like the first functional webs, and he's like, and I'm like, that makes sense. That makes sense. If I were an inventor and I finally nailed it, my reaction would also be that scene deserves to be memed a lot more than it actually has been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, back with their amazing soundtrack.
Amazing soundtrack.
Yeah, they did
Yes,
such a
I'm
great
separate.
job in developing the relationship with two, where towards the end you feel that loss. You're like, fuck. Okay, hell.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, Andrew does not have that much of an ugly cry compared to Tobey in 3. Harry!
He looked like the fucking hamburger helper.
Who?
Toby.
No, who's the hamburger?
Google it.
See what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yep. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Aside from Marissa Tomei's Aunt May, do you think Tobey Maguire's Aunt May knows he's Spider-Man?
Hell no.
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 Really?
The
No.
amount of stress that this on me of gone through. I'm surprised she hasn't had a heart attack yet.
She did.
I'm surprised.
She didn't she? Like in the first movie after the Goblin attack, didn't she get a heart attack? Or
No,
was
I
that
think it just-
PTSD?
Well, no, I think that was
I think
just like
that's-
third-degree burns from the explosion.
Oh, okay.
More like too much stress on one old woman.
Her house got blown up.
Finish it!
She has the rosary in hand.
Yeah. Aunt May's actually a Filipino grandma.
Speaks in Tagalog while praying. I was like,
Salamangero!
I love how all of the Spider besties become bad guys.
Bad guys?
Yeah, except for Ned. Yeah, at least.
No, but this is the thing now. Ned has no attachment to Peter, so if he does turn into a bad guy, there is no remorse.
Still Tom's problem, or maybe not, because he's might be taken under Doctor Strange's wing. Who knows?
That's also the thing we forgot to mention in the review, is that Ned might be a potential student of Doctor Strange.
Right?
You know what? That is a possibility, but you know what else is a possibility? There's more than one sorcerer that could teach Ned. Do you know who else could teach Ned? That could lead Ned down the dark path?
They're
The
doomed.
that guy from
Baron Mordo.
Mardo, yeah, that
Oh.
guy. He has dreadlocks now.
Mm-hmm. He's just like, our obligatory black character has reached the sequel. Dreads.
Dreads.
Or like, Idris Elba's reached it to the sequel. Dreads.
Dreads. And he was wearing a helmet the entire time. That movie. And then
That's true. And then dreads, yeah. He's got to look like early Black Eyed Peas, you know.
Shit.
My lovely lady loves. We're getting lost.
we are.
We are. But I do like Ned as the guy in the chair. Like, I don't know if it's just a me thing, but like every time modern superheroes now have a person in the chair, I go back all the way back to Arrow. I'm like, did Arrow start this trend of people in the chair? And shows and TVs at least.
Alright. I gotta say, going back to the guy in the chair dates back to Oracle.
I was gonna say that.
Right.
Not like she really had a choice. But
Maybe to the
it's the girl in the chair, not that she had a choice to be anywhere else, but I think it dates back to Oracle.
Yeah, and she already came with one, so that's one obstacle out of the way.
Exactly. I gotta say though, like, to this day, no matter what argument anyone may say, whether they say it's Tony's sacrifice or Loki's sacrifice, the greatest sacrifice in MCU history was still made by Ned. What are you doing here? I'm looking
For no
for the greatest sacrifice in history. That is the greatest sacrifice in all superhero history. I don't care what you did, Christian Bale's Batman. I don't care what you did, Tony Stark. When you tell your high school principal while you're helping Spider-Man that you're actually watching porn, that is a sacrifice few are willing to make. And few will ever surpass.
Speaking of the school stuff
Porn.
and Tom Holland's school, I wish we brought up the PE teacher. from his high school.
Oh, bro.
Hannibal Buress?
Yeah, like we know what you did. You're guilty.
I forgot about that. He's like, I know what you did. I know what you
Not
did.
just the first one. Is like when they're watching the Captain America video. Like, all right, this is required. Even though I'm pretty sure he's a war criminal. Like that's funny.
I love that guy from the Eric Andre show.
Whack.
Whack.
Dude, there should have been a scene where he was like, "Hey Parker, look at me." Parker looks at him. Bitch.
Oh, that man's amazing. I love him here, even though we only got like probably 10 seconds of him.
For each movie.
Yeah. Hey, where you
Well-
going? Detention ain't done yet.
Well, the district says that I gotta show this video, even though this guy's probably a war criminal now. We know what you did.
We know. Walks away. We know. We're like, oh, this guy's great. Also, the other teacher is like, I can't lose this kid again. You're like, again? What happened the first time?
I can't lose a kid on a field trip again. Again.
Do you lose a lot of kids on field trips, sir? Why are you still a teacher?
No, I think that's his character. He's just that irresponsible teacher.
Hey, where are you going? Come back here.
Hey,
Doesn't
where you
chase
going?
after her. He just looks at her. He's like, "Hey, where you going? Come back
Detention
here."
ain't done yet.
That scene where Ned's caught, and he's like, I'm looking at porn. I was watching it in a theater full of like college people, and it just erupted in laughter. Like, that's funny.
You know what erupted in laughter?
Get on up.
Yeah, but
I
that's unintentional.
swear to God, like,
Dig
what
on
were the
this.
examples? Dig on this.
Is this what they think a bad boy looks like, dude?
That's
you know
what I
what
was
you're right?
thinking.
You know what he makes me think of when he pulls that shit? I'm like, Ronnie Vane? You know? This looks like Christian propaganda of what they think bad boys are.
Should I put a picture up in case people want to know?
Yes, please, yes, please.
Yes.
So, here you go. Oh my God. I think people have seen the meme where, do you want to know Jesus as your friend? He's like, no.
No. Alright.
Dude, with a
respect.
straight smile on his face, he's like,
No.
nope.
And as a proper Christian boy, we leave it alone and respect his decision.
Sure.
Don't label me.
No,
as
we
Christian.
didn't. They didn't.
No, don't label me as Christian.
Me
Oh,
too,
sorry.
man.
I was talking about AC. Or
Oh.
Ace.
Okay. But yeah, the allies aren't as exciting as the villains from these movies. And we've gotten a lot of great Spider-Man villains and some that are not so great. But we can talk about the best ones first and then, the not so great ones as we go along.
Oh, yeah. For me, how I would rank it is, from all the movies, that's kind of hard. Because Vulture's pretty good, Mysterio is also pretty good. And I can't say No Way Home because
It's all of them. It's all of them. Doc Ock, Mysterio, and Vulture in no particular order. That's my top three.
You know, I would say Doc Ock, Vulture, Green Goblin, and then Mysterio.
And Vulture's pretty scary without the suit. Either way.
Just Daddy Keaton,
Yeah.
just like has the Glock underneath the seat of his car, like.
If you're not afraid of Michael Keaton, then you're not living life right.
I
You know?
fear this man more in Spider-Man Homecoming than in Batman.
You want nuts? Let's get nuts!
Good old Spider-Man. I mean, mine,
The green's like shit, the light's green. Fuck.
considering No Way Home and Spider-Man 1 from Tobey, I'd still say Gavi's the best villain. This man went through so much effort to ruin Peter's day. He's like your favorite school bully from high school. You were just going through life, and he's just like, I just can't stand that he's okay, and just makes active moves to fuck his life up. So to me, it's Gobby. Then it's like, this is a personal thing. I just think Mysterio's amazing. So I'd put Mysterio second. I'd put Vulture third, just because of Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man.
And then Doc Ock is my fourth. I have to mention that Doc Ock is great because, you know, I will not die a monster.
Slightly Italian.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I really love Green Goblin here because this man has the worst case of bipolar disorder.
Hello, my dear.
It's multiple personality disorder. Multiple personality.
Okay, we'll give it that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, Willem Dafoe is great as Green Goblin. Like, that's one of the reasons why I go back to watch the first Spider-Man, just to see him be Green Goblin again.
Willem Dafoe is the best Power Rangers villain I've ever seen.
Agreed.
He straight up does look like a Power Rangers villain, but like, I'm down for
I
it.
swear to God, I really want to know. Like, I want to see Willem Dafoe in a Super Sentai, like, show. That's just like one villain, and like he gets blown up and that's it. They turn into Megazords and he turns gigantic and it just dies. I just want to hear his voice there.
I just want to see Willem Dafoe in modern drip, just all Supreme and off-white Balenciaga shoes. He looks like he could just pull it off better than anybody. I'm completely basing this off how he looked at the start of No Way Home, but man, does he work the shit out of that look.
Yes, he does. All he's missing is that like really puffy North Face jacket. The one that like Drip Goku has.
And he's also missing grills. He needs grills.
Agreed.
Just full cultural appropriation. And a chain that hangs low.
But yeah, the other Spider-Man villain I really like is Doc Ock, because he's not really... It's more of a tragedy than a villain.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it was like me and Enzo's first time seeing, like,
A
fully
villain-
seeing
a villain with
with
layers.
depth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he didn't want to be this, but circumstances were just against him.
And that hospital scene.
Oh,
where the tentacles
that was
come-
terrifying. Like,
Right.
what the fuck was that?
That's full Sam Raimi. You're like, oh fuck.
That's Sam Raimi going like, you guys remember when I did Evil Dead? Because after this, you're not gonna forget.
Dude, that scene where the nurse like
Where
falls
she's-
down and she
just
like
the-
just claws. I'm like, ah.
She's gripping the floor so hard she's leaving a mark for the nurse.
I know, and I'm like the tentacles started grabbing all the chainsaws. I was like, this is why I don't want to be a doctor.
That one guy who had a chainsaw and then all the tentacles started like aiming for his face. She's like, fucking hell.
So before we continue on with this, Jomar, you're telling me
Yes,
don't
it
wanna
was the
be a
first time I
doctor?
didn't want to be a doctor.
that you pieced out of the possibility of being in medical school because you watched Dr. Octopus on an operating table and was like, this is a realistic situation I could find myself in the future. When I become a doctor, I will not become a doctor because of this.
The odds of a mad scientist having tentacle arms that would rip me apart and my colleagues in an emergency room. Even if it is just 1%, we gotta take it to an absolute.
I mean, yeah, last week my mom had a patient with tentacle arms who gave birth, so I get your point.
See, look at that, see? You just promote.
It's early enough in my day that I'm like, did someone with tentacle arms just give birth and didn't make it to the news?
But yeah, that train fight scene is still amazing to watch now, even now. Even that ending.
Oh man, this is just such a funny fucking series, man. His fucking face,
It's crying face. What do you want? Everything!
Isn't that Witcher?
Anyway,
Here!
back to Spider-Man villains. Yeah, the train sequence is still pretty amazing, and so is the ending where he goes, "I will not die a
He's just
monster."
a kid.
He's
He's just a kid. Be careful, he's a hero. They crowd surf him to the back of the train.
He knocks out that one comedian, I forgot his name, Joey Diaz.
For real?
You don't tell nobody. What?
Yeah, that was Joey Diaz.
I was
What
like,
did-
he really knocked out somebody?
No, he didn't really knock out Joey Diaz, but that was Joey Diaz in the train. Come on. Yes, Sam Raimi put someone in danger, man.
We're starting to believe too many things that are unlikely in the movie set.
They're the same
Wait,
man.
so Sam Raimi wrote it into the script. Knock this comedian out.
What do you like about Doc Ock, Jomar? And Sam?
I think we already mentioned it.
I just love that this guy can reach anything on any shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, there were a lot of dimensions to him. But, like, he's not my first villain with dimensions. I've definitely seen villains with dimensions before, like Vader, you know? I got to watch Star Wars as a kid, so I've already seen multi-layered villains by this time. I think I might have also seen Venom Saga. From the 90s Spider-Man.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is just me and Enzo's like first time seeing a villain like this, because when we start comprehending like, oh shit,
Yeah.
there's actual plot here. It's not just flashing lights and superheroes.
I mean, I think you've already seen Batman and Robin by this point, right?
No, I saw this before I
Okay.
started watching any.
I saw
superhero movies.
Batman and Robin before all of this, so I also saw Mr. Freeze first.
You're really showing your age here.
You're also showing your youth, bitch. You ain't doing any better. You ain't doing any better. You weren't around when rollerblades were the shit.
That's
Have you ever used a pogo stick back when pogo sticks were cool? Do you have any idea how cool that Nickelodeon lunchbox is?
Oh yes, I had that.
No, but like Mr. Freeze, like despite Batman and Robin being bad movie, like I learned at an early age that like people who do bad things are not necessarily bad people. With Mr. Freeze, because he was just trying to save his wife, and he saw this as the only way to do it. And at the end, when Batman was like, "I'll save your wife," and he's like, "Cool, I'll save your butler." Do these. Call me in the morning. I can't. My phone could get traced, and people will know I'm Batman. But like, I like you. Thanks, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Thanks for the. But yeah,
The funniest and beefiest scientist we've ever known.
yes. So far,
So
because the Hulk wasn't a thing yet.
So,
No.
yeah.
I would say Arnold Schwarzenegger throwing out those ice buns is a little bit more funny.
But that's not the video for that.
This ain't the video for that.
I'm not going any further with it. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save it.
Also, going back to Walter, but he definitely reminded me of Walter White, but with wings, because he was doing this for his family, and then he's about
Walter Wings.
Yes.
Walter Wings. Matt's going bald too, so like.
Yeah. Sir, is this our last heist? We're done. I say we're done.
We just have Keaton and like Tom Holland in like that yellow jumpsuit.
Yellow
That
jumpsuit.
PPE.
Oh,
Sorry, that yellow PPE suit.
right.
Peter, let's
I never,
cook.
I never got to continue on with Breaking Bad, so I barely understand Breaking Bad.
Oh, you should, man. It's pretty good. Again, we're getting off.
Yeah, but yeah, very villain who doesn't. It's not really a villain, but he's just doing things out of necessity to provide for his family.
Yeah, I would say the same with Lizard, but then it was kind of like a selfish reason, but he just wanted to be normal.
And
The reason for Lizard in the comics is better.
Really not.
Because like he has a family and shit. It's not just because he wants his arm back. It's because he wants his son to be able to experience like the things that he can't do, like him lifting him up and shit like that. Like he never got the prop. He's never been properly able to hold his son in his arms and shit. Like, this was more family centered at the start, and then he got a bit more primal. But here it was way more selfish. Like, Connors is genuinely an empathetic character. Like, you can feel what he feels, and you can relate to what he is trying to do. In Amazing Spider-Man, that definitely wasn't the case, and they definitely wasted the story of Kurt Connors in this one. If you guys want to read or watch a good Kurt Connors Lizard origin story, Spectacular Spider-Man is on Netflix. So check it out. It happens pretty early on in the series. Like, wala pang episode 10. So even before you reach episode 10, you'll run into the Lizard story already.
And I'm gonna binge watch this. Like,
it's only
just
one
to
season.
It's gonna revisit my childhood.
Yeah, and
I think that everything that happened in Spectacular Spider-Man in that one season is genuinely better than the comics.
Oh.
That's nice.
Yeah. Every villain is tied to Spider-Man, naturally. And every villain has a story that you can relate to. Very good rogues gallery, very good writing, good animation. Even Eddie Brock's origin story is better.
Alright, speaking of Eddie Brock.
well, before we go to that, like the other villain
Eric Foreman.
I liked was Sandman, because he's also very.
Oh yeah, there we go.
human
Some
villain.
other players as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandman!
Sandman. I remember like everybody going crazy for that one scene in the start of Spider-Man 3 where he's trying to reach for his daughter's like locket, but then his arm like comes apart.
Yeah, it's amazing how they can add such layers to a character that was made from radioactive sand, which just shows how
Those
crazy.
effects hold up,
Yeah,
by the way. They really hold up. Like, if there's one thing about Tobey's Spider-Man that's amazing, it is a production design. Because remember, Doc Ock's arms were for the most part practical.
Puppets. Yeah, they were puppets.
Yeah,
Shit.
so they synced that in with Alfred Molina's acting.
Hmm.
Like, props to the fucking, well, props team. No, and even down to like the CGI in Spider-Man 3, like, objectively, let's be real here. Eric Foreman's Venom looks better than Tom Hardy's. Let's be objective about this. Visually, it's a lot better. Like, the way the Venom mask comes off and it's still hanging on to him. The textures on that suit. How Venom looked like he was actually there. That was impressive. It hasn't gotten better with Tom Hardy. I wish it got better with Tom Hardy. But objectively not. The production design on all of the Tobey movies are spectacular.
Pun intended.
No, but like, even down to Sandman, like that scene, like imagine where CG was at this point in time. This what, 08?
2007.
07, 08?
07.
Alright, 07. Yeah, CGI hasn't gotten too far by then, man. That's really impressive CG, and you could see every grain of sand as this happens.
Yes.
Yeah. Just imagining their PCs back in 2007 exploding at what they had to render.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy. It's a lot of work, and in terms of the visuals, Spider-Man 3 isn't bad at all.
That shit was good.
Yeah.
Probably even innovative for the time.
There's a lot of funny scenes that we couldn't take it seriously from that.
The writing was flawed, but the production was as good as it could have gotten.
Yeah.
Never wound what you can't kill. Just smack Spider-Man with a piece of construction.
Piece of construction.
I don't want piece. I forgot what piece of got. Like, was that a red?
That could be so many things. A piece of construction can be so many things.
An impact drill.
A paper airplane.
Like, did he grab a beam? I forgot.
Yeah, like a construction beam.
Yeah.
Well, foundation beam. I'm not.
But yeah, looks-wise, he looks pretty cool. But like, just the writing on that character, like I don't buy it.
Well, I love Tofu Grace's like.
Tofu Grace.
Did you say Tofu Grace?
Yes, that's what I call it.
Okay.
But I love his like This man went to. Seth has mentioned this before. This man has gone to church and asked God
Please kill this man.
specifically to kill Peter Parker. I'm
He
like,
full on
damn.
goes to God's house and asks for murder.
It's like, if this ain't character death right here, this man has hit rock bottom.
This is a great character. Like this, like he may have been a smaller Eddie Brock, but this guy's got bigger balls than anyone I've ever fucking seen. Literally walks into the house of God and asks for a cold-blooded murder. He like commissions God to murder Peter Parker. I want you to kill Peter Parker. Straight face, bro. He believes that this is the best decision to make. I love Topher Grace's Eddie Brock. Despite what anyone says, that's great.
He's like, God, do you remember what Cain did to Abel? Can you do the same thing to Peter Parker, please?
One more time, please. Just one more time.
You know how I'm my brother's keeper? Well, I want you to keep this brother 6 feet underground.
Also, the scene where he becomes Venom was really cool. Like, the stuff was, like, falling onto him. It fell into his mouth. He started, like, trying to throw it up.
Like I said, visually this movie is super great.
Mm-hmm.
It's really great. Can you imagine if they just was like, alright, you can have Sandman and New Goblin for this movie and then have Venom for the next? We wouldn't have had any complaints.
We would.
It would have been good. It would have been good. Damn it, Sony.
Like, the only thing that's lacking is just voice. I wish it wasn't Topher Grace sounding. That's
Oh yeah, like sure, it's Tofu Grace like talking normally, and then once he turns into Venom, it gets deeper.
Not even that. I think it just becomes it's still Topher Grace talking as
No,
Venom.
I wish it became deeper, like when he like goes into.
Yeah,
full
it's not like he becomes Tom where he's like, I am Venom. We are Venom. But like,
I swear to God, man, just audition somewhere. Just audition somewhere. That's really good.
He doesn't even need effects.
He doesn't.
He doesn't need
Doesn't
effects. It's just
Doesn't
really
need reverb or anything.
I've
No,
been
he doesn't
practicing
need
a
any
lot.
effects. Why?
No, I just really like Venom. Like, I want to sound like him too.
Dude, I swear to God, like if there's a Philippine like production team that will make like a fan film of Spider-Man in the Philippines, get Enzo to like voice Venom if you're gonna have him as a villain.
Sure.
Philippines.
Philippines.
Philippines, sorry.
But yeah, I rewatched The Amazing Spider-Man recently, and I'm like, what's Lizard doing again? Why is he turning everyone into lizards? Aside from the evolution
Oh,
thing?
because it's the next step. Because Mark Zuckerberg.
I don't get that. Like,
We all are lizard people.
No.
why did he turn them to the cops into lizards?
No.
Like, what's happening?
No, I'm just imagining how fucking funny this is, because it's like objectively, it's kind of funny. Because he's like, Lizard, why are you doing this? Because lizards are so fucking cool.
That's essentially it. Like, because I like lizards and they're cool.
You climb up walls.
It's the only logical explanation for like the amount of explaining they did for his actions. It's like there was barely anything there, so it really looks like he just parang dinamay niyang buong New York City with his fucking lizard obsession. He's just like, why are you doing this, lizard? I really like lizards.
It's exactly that Halloween kid. I like turtles.
And it doesn't change. It doesn't change with No Way Home. He still just really likes lizards.
Yeah, he's still going on.
He's the most high-stakes version of Enzo's obsession with dinosaurs.
With dinosaurs.
Like, he just made it everyone's fucking problem.
Hey, do you
It's
like
just like,
lizards?
I need to turn you into a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
And
Like, why?
the
Because
next
they have
Spider-Man
sharp
villain.
teeth and long arms. Like,
Oh man. And then from there, the motivations of the other Amazing Spider-Man villains gets even more insane because the lecturer's like, "You forgot my birthday. How could you?" You're so
Hey,
selfish.
okay, no. I'll give Jamie Foxx this. Sure, he acted like a nerd. It's a little bit weird. Like, dude was down on his luck. Dude should be be paid more than what he usually is. Like, he's being bullied from school to work now.
He
I'm like,
straight up got a Mr. Freeze origin though,
what do you mean?
where Mr. Freeze falls in the tank and becomes Mr. Freeze, and he falls
A
into
lot
the
of
tank.
people falls into everything.
Yeah, and it also fixes their teeth, right?
Oh yeah, it does. Like, he had a bit of an overbite, and then now it became like straight ass teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Electricity, everybody.
I mean, it does make you grind your teeth. So,
Okay. That's
I mean, to my knowledge, but like it's so fucking funny, man. Like, it's just so fucking petty. It's just like, no, like, to be fair, like, him turning into it, that was unfair and mean. Like, they make him work overtime on his birthday,
mm-hmm.
and then this man has an accident because they weren't handling things properly in that lab. And
Yeah.
now he has to pay for it by being the Blue Man crew.
The singular Blue Man group.
Yeah. Because he has no friends because Spider-Man forgot his birthday. But it's just, you know, like, I understand where Electro's coming from. But really, like, the lesson in... This is why, like, the Amazing Spider-Man movies could have been written better. Because at the end of the day, this is really more of a lesson of, like, don't forget to greet your friends for their birthday shit.
Yes, exactly.
Like, this is why we have Electro. Like, Spider-Man forgot to greet him for his birthday. And a lot of other people didn't greet him for his birthday. So it's really just like, don't forget your friends' birthdays. You'll never know. Maybe they'll turn blue and try to kill you.
The thing is, why he loves Spider-Man as well is that Spider-Man actually remembered it was his birthday.
And he's his eyes and ears!
He's his eyes and ears. Grabs him. You must be black too.
He fixes his hair.
Yeah. It's like, Max, you know my name. Yeah, it's on your fucking... Okay.
He can also materialize his own outfit too.
Oh, that's true. I actually love that scene where Spider-Man first meets, Electro. Not Max, but Electro. And, this is like my first time seeing Spider-Sense work at, like, super speed. Like, like, Peter's thinking, like, 1,000 times per second or something. And, like... Well, like, somebody tries to grab a railing when there's electricity, like, it's metal, he like, tries to avoid that, there's a car coming towards him, and there's, like, other bullshit coming around. He has to think very quickly just to save everybody in that situation within a split second. I'm like, that's Spider-Man. Like, I really like seeing that shit.
Yeah.
Do you like how everybody in New York City holds onto the metal bars while watching a fight of a being with pure electricity?
Hey, man, as I've seen from the internet, a lot of people aren't that smart.
That is true.
No, especially in a panic situation. Cut him a little bit of slack, bro. Like, that was a pretty bad situation they were in. And, like, you're just, like, hoping to grab onto anything, you know? It's kind of like, blaming someone in the fire for inhaling the smoke.
Okay, we'll give him that.
True, but they also weren't running. They're just staring like, ooh, go Spider-Man.
Huh. Puts hand on wall.
Yeah.
Like metal wall.
Dude, there's just a lot happening. Like, think about it. If that was happening in front of your face, there will be certain people that freeze up.
That is
okay,
true.
we'll give him that. We'll give him that.
Also, I forget that Black Cat's in the movie.
Right, Felicia Hardy is in the movie.
Right, she was an assistant to Harry
Jin
Osborn.
Erso.
Yeah.
Played by
that was
Jin
her?
Erso. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen her as Black Cat now.
I mean, it's possible now that everyone loves Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Rhino's pretty funny though.
I'm the Rhino.
Like, how do you go from this to Sheriff of Compton? I don't understand.
I'm the Rhino! No, but actually, like, they did ruin the Rhino too, because... I'm sorry, I just saw a really funny meme. No, the Rhino's a really tragic story too. He has good ties to Spider-Man. I don't know if he's an original Spider-Man villain, but I did read a run where he fought the Hulk. Rhino's actually stuck in that suit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, according to the comics, he's stuck in that suit. And a lot of why he does what he does is to get out of the suit.
Oh, just him running into buildings and shit. It's just him attempting to remove it.
A lot of promises made, like, do this will remove you from the suit. Do this will remove you from the suit. So it's kind of just him desperately trying to get out of this thing that he's stuck in. And in the comics,
would help him with this.
In the comics, he dies.
Oh.
Okay,
Hulk kills him.
Ooh.
seems appropriate.
Yeah. Stanley, great writing. Not even capping. Stanley has great writing. But like, yeah, he did fucking just murk Rhino. Because Rhino just kept on going at him and Hulk was like, no.
Any villains we're missing?
Dane DeHaan, that's about it.
Dane DeHaan.
Just Green Goblin.
Green Goblin.
Oh, right.
Just shows up at the end to do the most damage to poor Andrew. Like, Jesus Christ.
Dude, he's just the added tension no one asked for.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, God, that was tense. Shit, it's Green Goblin.
Damn you, Spider-Man!
This seems like a movie too early, but that's the Green Goblin right there.
Mm-hmm. In his
And
Halo
Gwen
suit.
Stacy's in this movie.
In that,
Shit, she's gonna die.
wearing the same thing she did in the comic when she died. Like,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was unnecessary. Like he was just there for just the tension.
like, that's the worst last boss fight ever. Like, wait, I thought we were done.
Yeah, the boss fight theme is still going on. Like, wait a minute.
Where you're like, you're in Witcher, and you're like, why do I still hear the...
That
It's
boss
like,
suit
where's-
decapitated
where's-
holds up its head, and it's still going around. I'm like, ah, shit.
Yeah, he's the great ape from Sekiro.
Sekiro. Yeah.
Like, thank God. Holy shit, he's still alive.
Yeah, I forgot that they killed Electro here. I forgot that they overcharged him and just, he blows up like a phone.
I forgot they didn't kill the lizard. That's why he's panicked. Like, how did I die again? Max, how did I die?
I don't know who you are.
They Samsung Jamie Foxx.
The Samsung J.
Oh, God.
But yeah,
Any other villains?
well, I would classify Jameson as a villain. Because he has the power to turn the entire city against Spider-Man.
We only got
I
two of
wouldn't...
them.
No, I will make every argument in the world that Jameson's not a villain.
Yeah, that
Jameson
I would agree.
Jameson doesn't like vigilantes. That's fair. Especially if you got through a generation where going against the law has led to a lot of repercussions. That makes sense. But remember, in Spider-Man 1, when Green Goblin was like, bring me to the person who takes the pictures of Spider-Man! And he said, like, I don't know where he is, this stuff comes in the mail. That man risked his life
That
to
man
save a
lied.
teenager who was just trying to make some freelance cash.
Mhm.
He could have died by saying nothing, and he didn't care. He looked the Goblin in the eyes, those horrible yellow eyes, and did not give a fuck. He was like, no, this kid's life is not worth, like, this guy getting what he wants and me staying alive. He would have rather died than give up Peter. And that
I'll say
to
he's a
me,
good boss.
he's not a good boss. Like,
He's not a good boss.
Morally, he's a good person. Morally, he's a good person.
He'll send you
Forgot
Christmas
about
meat.
When push comes to shove, he's a good person. And I've seen this time and time again in the comics. I would say James Franco's Harry Osborn is a villain. But I would never say Jameson's a villain. For that one scene where he chose to save a teenage boy's life because When he believed that his life was not worth sacrificing that of a teenage boy who's just trying to make some money.
Do you guys remember the rumors when they were still making the alleged Amazing Spider-Man 3 where Ice Cube was rumored to be Jameson in that universe?
I would
have loved
Ice Cube Jameson. That would have been the best shit ever. Bring me some motherfucking pictures of Spider-Man.
You didn't see Eddie Brock at church. Leave Korean Jesus alone. You got nothing to have for. You gotta do Korean shit.
It's the same mission. Infiltrate the party and take pictures of Spider-Man. I want Jameson Cube so bad.
What Jameson Cube, dude? Please, if they're gonna continue Andrew Garfield's story, please make Jameson Ice
Oh
Cube.
god. I want it so bad. It would be so fucking funny.
It would.
Give me some motherfucking pictures of Spider-Man.
Oh man, what a wasted opportunity. Well, hopefully if
No,
fans get their wish,
there's
if fans
a
get
chance.
their wish, yeah, we'll still
There's
get
a
that. Oh please, please.
Yeah.
Since rewatching these movies, I remembered how amazing the Alex Ross opening was for Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. A lot of people forget that, but Alex Ross actually drew all of those.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, it's one of Alex Ross it's one of his direct contributions to the cinematic universe. He hasn't really made like things for movies since. But yeah, his contributions are the greatest to superhero movies since, like, you know, Adi Granov and Ryan Meinerding.
Right.
Who are now, you know, they're the guys that design all of the character designs that you see. But yeah, dude, like Alex Ross, that was the opening or closing credits? Opening credits for 2. And they changed it up a little bit. Like, remember how Spider-Man 2 was like the Spider-Man intros are kind of like, you know, your PlayStation games when you boot them up for the first time? Like, it's
Were you in the void of space?
It takes forever.
Yeah.
Like, those credits took forever. Like, they made the Star Wars crawls feel short.
Yes.
They were really long.
And Tobey has Nickelback as one of the lead featured artists for their soundtrack.
Heroes not gonna stay away.
I love that.
Me too.
I also, Spider-Man 2 was the one that introduced me to Snow Patrol, which is an amazing band still today.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you
Signal Fire, and they had that really good music video where it's actually Spider-Man.
The other rumor I heard was that Bruce Campbell was supposed to be Mysterio in 4.
I would have loved that.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Oh man, Bruce Campbell's fucking smug. That would be so cool.
Actually, I wish he would come back, like, for another Spider-Man movie.
That'd be cool.
Like he would just come back as
I
anybody.
think he could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he could.
If we can do the Ash versus Evil Dead show, we can certainly come back for a movie.
Actually, didn't like Ash? No, that was DC.
Nani?
Was it DC? No, was it Marvel Zombies where Ash comes in?
I haven't finished Marvel Zombies, so I wouldn't know.
No, it's not Deceased. I think it might have been Marvel Zombies where Ash actually.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, I've read Deceased, so he's not in there.
He's not in there, but I think he's
Likely
in
Zombies.
Marvel Zombies. Yeah,
That's interesting.
he was somewhat the main character. Then he dies.
I didn't know that was legal, but okay.
Yeah, very weird.
I'll take
very
it.
Weird.
I'll take it.
Alright. But yeah, just to reiterate, who has the best Spider-Man villains for their respective franchise?
It's not fair. to ask that. It's Tom.
It's Tom.
Cause he got Mysterio, he got Vulture, then he got everyone.
Yeah, and there's also a potential favorite with Scorpion now, knowing that the guy
Ooh,
played as
I
Boss
wanna
from
s-
Far Cry 3.
I want to see
Yeah,
that
he
for
is
new
there.
trilogy.
Yeah.
Dude, and the symbiotes around, we could get Mac Gargan Venom first.
See? So, like, hey, we're gonna get a lot of good villains from here, so I would say Tom Holland hands down won this one.
Peter, have you ever heard the definition of insanity?
I thought you were gonna say, have you ever danced with the devil in Pale Moonlight?
No, no.
He doesn't even know what it means himself. He's just like, I just like saying it.
Best Spidey love interest.
Best Spidey love interest, in my opinion, I would still say Andrew and Emma.
Yeah, that and second is Tom and Zendaya.
Tom and Zendaya, because Mary Jane and...
I'll agree
Tobey.
with you guys on that.
Oh, okay. I thought you would...
I mean, I want to, but like, I did lose my shit as a kid when Gwen died, so I'll let my emotions take over this one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mary Jane and the Tobey Maguire movie is complete trash of a one.
Dude, she's so terrible, and she's such a fucking like blatant disrespect to how great Mary Jane is. Once again, if you're watching this video and you love and you like hate Mary Jane Watson, I beg you, read Spider-Man Blue. She's such a wonderful person.
Because I really hate this bitch, because, like, remembering Spider-Man 3 where he kisses...
This isn't about
Vince,
you.
basically.
It's about me. When you were kissing her, was it Spider-Man kissing her or was it Peter Parker? 2 minutes later, is kissing other guys.
Yeah. Bitch had a fucking astronaut, which she got engaged to, just to
And
make
then
Peter
Runaway
jealous.
Bride. Yeah.
Yeah. And
She's
then
terrible.
best friend, there you go. She makes out with him. I'm like, who was kissing her, Spider-Man or Mary Jane? Oh wait, there's only one answer to that, bitch.
Was it Mary Jane or Mary Jane? Answer.
Was it Mary Jane or Mary Jane? Answer me.
Yeah, but if you like Mary Jane, please, if you have a PS4, check out Spider-Man PS4.
Yes, Spider-Man PS4, Spider-Man Blue, and you know a lot of other comics. Mary Jane's a really great girl.
Yeah.
And the best girl for Spidey.
Best Spider-Man parental figures.
Aunt May.
Yeah.
Aunt May from Tom.
Like, yeah, which one?
Aunt May
Yeah.
from Tom.
Aunt May from Tom, I would say Marissa Tomei. She had the most screen time compared to a lot of
Yeah.
Aunt Mays in the past films, and she had the most, I would say, interaction with Peter as Spider-Man as well.
And she's also had the biggest influence on him continuously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, for the other Peters, it's mostly from Gwen or those wise words from Uncle Ben. But, like, other than
Peter,
that...
you're filthy! I was cleaning the chimney. We don't have a chimney. What?
Well... that disappointed child.
What?
That was funny. I'll give that from Amazing Spider-Man.
He's cleaning other people's chimneys, thinking it's his. Andre just bought it. Like, I'm surprised that she never suspected Andrew was on crack. Like, what the fuck is this kid smoking? Going to other houses? It's a fucking chimney sweep. Thinking it's his own house, and he's just like, oh, just gotta clean this chimney right here. What are you doing in my house? Fuck!
Spider-Man away! Damn it! He's not even wearing the mask.
Up in the way, Web.
It's just fucking crackhead cleaning your house. Gotta clean this chimney. It's really.
Oh, I love this bit. I love this bit.
No, because the concept of it is just so fucking. The explanation would not add up to me at all. If I was Aunt May, I was just like, Whose house did you go to? Whose house did you go to? Whose house did you break into with a fucking chimney sweep? And just went fucking dog on it. Just fucking gotta get this done.
Why are you in my house to clean your chimney? Why?
Whose house did you go to? Where did you get a chimney sweep?
Motherfucker's Mary Poppins it.
There are so many more questions to ask after that explanation.
Oh man.
I'm gonna rewatch Andrew Garfield movies now because now that you mentioned.
That was so wild. Like, what the fuck?
I know a lot of those houses the neighborhood lives in, a lot of those houses don't have chimneys, so he's probably going to the nicer parts of New York to clean random chimneys.
Cleaned Harry's house. Like, Peter, what are you doing here? I just really gotta clean this chimney, bro. Like,
Tobey, I got you. No, but like, I would say Aunt May from Tobey Maguire's, Spider-Man. I would say is good second, and then Andrew Garfield's Aunt May's third.
Yeah, Sally Field
that amazing scene with the chimney.
Sally Field doesn't really stick out in those movies.
No, it's alright.
Yeah.
Except for the chimney thing.
Yeah.
Except for the chimney thing. We don't have a chimney. What?
Before we get to our best Spider-Man, any favorite standout moments from this 20-year franchise?
Best Spider-Man with an existential crisis.
Spider-Man 2 when Tobey couldn't get it up.
No, what's even worse is that, like, no, what's funnier is, like, that last shot of him, like, getting the hot dog, and then he trips, then his glasses drop, and he, like, props himself up, puts it on. I'm like, I love this.
Remember when Harry's like, don't hurt Peter, and Doc Ock, in order to ask Peter, where do you take pictures, throws a taxi at Peter, just to get his attention.
Wait, that was so stupid. That was actually stupid.
Like, aren't you a smart scientist?
Actually,
what part of this is logical? He just sees Peter like, oi! Throws a taxi.
No, like, he was like, this kid's gonna die, just watch.
What if he didn't? He's like, where do you take pictures? Ah, fuck, he's dead.
There's some mag from the car, like, stuck to his brain.
But yeah, one moment I really won't remember because of the theater reaction was when Peter's driving up to Liz's place and Vulture opens the door. Everybody in theater's like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah. Like, at first we're like, oh shit, Vulture has the family hostage. Like, no, he looks like a dad. He has a checkered shirt and shit.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. That. And that scene at the traffic light was just great.
Which traffic?
Where the traffic light turns green just when he says, "Go Spider-Man."
Spider-Man.
Just to give us like the comic reference of green means evil.
Oh, that's really good.
That's what
really
green usually symbolizes in comics. Like something devious, something dangerous is afoot, so there's green to symbolize that. And saktong-sakto in green light. So clever use of lighting and clever reference to those who know comics way too much.
Yeah. I mean, that was a legit intense scene, but I'm like, at some points I would like choke out, like, I was like, Peter, just stay calm, stop panicking! But of course he's a kid, and I'm like, shit, bad guy right here. I can't stop but sweat bullets and like, be pale as fuck.
Also the boats.
Oh my god! It's Chico Keaton!
It's Batman!
It's Batman! He's Bennett! He's an 8!
Also his boat scene is pretty intense too. When he's trying to hold the ship together. It's like, I got this, and he starts falling apart even more. It's like, ah, fuck.
I would say that it's the Star Wars Force Awakens of the homecoming, of the home franchise for Tom. Because it's like, oh, so it's just a bastardized version of something we've already seen.
Twice, actually.
You've seen it twice?
Yeah, so we got the train scene
Yeah.
And then we got Andrew Garfield holding up the bus and another car on the bridge.
Oh, so this just happens all the time, huh?
I
This
guess.
happens a lot. This happens a lot. Wait, I don't know if
Alright.
it was a bus or it was like a tram that was like attached to like the cables and shit. But
Also that-
either way, he did the Jesus pose.
His Mysterio fight when he's fighting all the illusions is pretty incredible too.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah, and then he finds the Zombie Downey Jr. He's like, oh fuck, my nightmare.
Zombie Downey Jr. That is so good.
Iron Man directed by Zack Snyder.
Zombie Downey Jr.
Yeah.
That is a way. I'm starting to like that name more now than Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie Jr.
Oh.
I guess
Oh,
it's
fuck.
fruitless to ask what's your favorite, who's your favorite Spider-Man because we're all biased, I guess.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, like, I think we're just correct.
Yeah, it's because like
You're all
There's more
entitled to your
tension.
wrong opinions if you don't think it's Tom.
who's your favorite Spider-Man and why is it Tom?
Exactly. Who's your second favorite and why is it Andrew? Okay.
No, but I have a lot of friends who would say like Tobey will be their second or their actual favorite. Well,
Yeah,
I kind
same
of
here.
get it. It is nostalgia.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I grew up with Tobey as well. This dude was cemented into my childhood. I've had the toys. I've had the costumes. I had the web slinging thing.
It's really funny how I watched all of those Spider-Man movies and not once did I think Tobey was cool.
No, I didn't think Tobey was cool.
I never watched those movies for Spider-Man. Like, I watched 3 for Venom, watched 2 for Gobby, and I mean, watched 1 for Gobby, then watched 2 for fun. Like, I didn't think Doc Ock was cool, but I was like, it's another superhero movie.
As long as we keep watching them, they'll get better.
Yeah, we'll get more.
And like, I would say, yeah, Tobey wasn't really a cool Spider-Man, but it was just fun seeing Spider. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he should have been more macho than he was represented, because look at Tobey's bodies compared to the other Spider-Man bodies. Like,
Oh,
Tobey
yeah.
was massive. Like,
Tobey got jacked.
dude, Tobey got Batista bod when he's in the
Right.
fucking Spidey suit. And that Spidey suit's like, of all the 3, that's the scariest. Like, this is, like, he didn't act like the scariest, but like, just imagine the Spider-Man trying to intimidate someone. Like,
Oh, okay.
he's objectively that's a scary face. Spider-Man
would
isn't
agree.
scary, but that's a scary face.
Yeah, like, I would say, fuck, what's his name again? The artist that does the gigantic eyes.
There are a lot of those. Which one?
The one that started like showing Spider-Man's like flexibility when he starts swinging. God, his name escapes me, but I follow him
Todd
on Instagram.
McFarlane?
Todd McFarlane. There.
Oh.
Yeah, like if they had the Todd McFarlane eyes, like yeah, this is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but with Sam Raimi's Spidey suit, this one was like kind of
I'm
Batman-esque.
just a neighborhood Spider-Man.
I'm from New York.
East Side, bitch.
Oh no! But yeah, I feel like this is like the type, like if it wasn't Tobey Maguire, like it was another person, this would feel like some kind of Spider-Man that would like hold somebody at the edge of a building while interrogating him.
Yeah, no, but like in theory, like Sam Raimi could have gone in this direction because like Sam Raimi's rooted in horror.
Yeah.
And so is Spidey himself. Ditko created Doctor Strange. Like he was the first guy to really bring in like these horror-based, like psychedelic type of artwork into comics. And he definitely incorporated that into Spider-Man. Like look at the original like Amazing Fantasy. Like Spider-Man's terrifying, especially for the time. And you know, if you saw Spider-Man, you wouldn't go, "It's Spider-Man!" And you would go, "Shit, that's a dude crawling on the fucking walls, bro." And he's got sharp eyes that don't look happy to see you. Like, Spider-Man's objectively terrifying. Like, imagine someone who can walk on with speed on walls. You know? Like, if it is taken out of the context of, I'm a good little high school boy. Like, you would think, shit, that's Sadako.
Yeah.
You know, he's a horror movie. He's a very good, like, potential horror movie villain, and Spidey's always been based on horror. So if you're thinking, like, just out of technicality of, oh, Sam Raimi's a horror guy, it makes all the sense in the world. And Spider-Man's objectively terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, question for you guys. What was your favorite Spidey suit? Like, from all of them. Well, Sam Raimi, he just pretty much stuck with one. Garfield had two, while I'm not gonna even count Tom Holland's.
I do like the Iron Spidey.
You like the Iron Spidey suit?
I don't want to say that I still like Tom's suits better, but there are aspects to Tom's suit that I like more than the others. Because I started with the Dan Slott Spider-Man. Like, that was like the first run I ever saw. In the game, this is the Iron Spider, well, the Spider Armor Mark IV.
Yeah.
This is the Tech Spidey Armor. And I like the idea of Spidey using tech to supplement for whatever else he needs. And we got that with Holland's Homecoming suit, and then the look got improved because black and red's just awesome with Far From Home. I really love the Far From Home look. But if we're talking technicalities, Amazing Spider-Man 2 beat out all of the other suits.
I was about to say that's my favorite one. The Todd McFarlane eyes.
Yeah.
It's all very, like, you know, doesn't have much technology in it. It's very, like,
It's 2 that does the whole shot of Andrew shooting down, right? And then
where he's where he has his arms up.
Yeah, it's the only Spider-Man suit ever created that was given the proper texture to feel like a suit. You could see all the wrinkles and the fabric kind of like separating from his body. Like, that is how you make a Spider-Man suit. You have to make it feel like a suit. And that's the biggest flaw with Holland's. Like, of all of the Spider-Men to ever be, the most flawed looking suit is Holland's. Because it just looks like it turns into skin once it's on him.
It does. Especially, like, seeing how it is. It might as well just be skin that's on.
Yeah,
because
the texture is really bad.
Yeah. He just presses the button, then it just conforms to, like, his, body.
Yeah, you could make that argument that that's the reason why it's a thing, but I just don't see it as ever looking natural.
Yeah.
But in terms of what's on the suit and the functionalities of the suit, I still like it better than the others. Just because of my love for the Dan Slott stuff.
Okay. For me, I just go straight up Todd McFarlane's look.
Did you like
just the large eyes? Very, like, it's not that like, how Sam Raimi and the first Amazing Spider-Man had, like, that webbing texture, like, it started to stick out a bit. Like, here it didn't do that anymore. It's just black lines. I was like, okay, it's simple, it's nice, less is more.
Amazing
and I like this.
Spider-Man 1 suit? Just like, that could use some work.
It was okay.
Oakley's Spider-Man.
Oakley Spider-Man. That was like, if Oakley designed a Spider-Man suit.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
No, but to me, to be fair, it actually does look like the original Amazing Fantasy suit, because like the eyes were smaller and a bit more awkward looking. Like, they weren't yellow, but I don't hate the Amazing Spider-Man suit at all.
Neither do
the first one, I mean, the second one was perfect. I would say that's a perfect suit. But the first Amazing Spider-Man suit, that's a good origin suit. It's kind of like going, like, if you don't like the Robert Pattinson Batman suit right now, it's gonna improve.
Yeah.
But, like, at least you could feel that there's progression. You could feel that there's possible progression, and it got better with time. So there's a lot there. And also, proportionally, there is none better than Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man suit. Because it's the only one where you can actually see him seeing through the mask.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you could buy that he could see through that thing. Tom Holland...
Because there's like little dots in there. Yeah.
No, it's not just that. It's the size of the eyes. Like, there's a lot of room for for him to maintain his peripherals and all that.
Yeah.
With Tom Holland's, like, the only argument you could make is technology.
Yeah. Also, like they said that like his senses are heightened, so he needs the stuff to like dial it down a bit so he could manage.
That's what I loved about the Holland suit. It's because like Spider-Man's eyes always move, the white eyes. They always move in the comics, and you've never been able to see that until Holland's.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a reason why now. You know, technology.
Yeah. Technology.
His first suit though, it's like, oh, at least you did your best, Tom Holland.
Oh, that's like the wrestling suit. I will give it that.
And I think that's one of the hardest ones to unlock, or not. If you have to collect all the backpacks.
I'm unlocking that. That was easy.
No, I'm confusing it with some other suit.
It kind of reminds me of the Scarlet Spider.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for. Because with a hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we wrap this up, any other big moments that you'd like to mention that make you like this franchise so much? I like how we talked about villains, but we barely touched Mysterio.
Oh no, dude! Like Mysterio, to me, he's perfect in the sense that like, he's a great character development villain. Yeah. Which is exactly what Mysterio is in the comics. You have no idea what this guy's been able to do to so many fucking heroes. He's the guy that caused the death of most of the X-Men.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
In, like, Old Man Logan.
Yes. I remember that vividly. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, he caused Logan to kill pretty much all of the X-Men.
What does he do? He's just a visual artist, right? He's like...
Yeah, but he causes people to see really vivid illusions.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because Logan thought he was fighting villains.
Yeah. He kind of reminds me of, like, you know, like a less one-trick version of Scarecrow. That's what Mysterio is. And Mysterio, this was selfish, but like Mysterio plays at something that is very commonplace in actual society now. Like, it's false information. Like, giving people a narrative that is not true but more convenient, rather than the real truth that is less convenient. Mysterio, despite what anyone might say about, you know, the Tom Holland's first two villains, they were very well motivated. You know, like a villain whose entire agenda is to control the truth and have the narrative like be based off of what he decides it is. That's really intimidating and scary, especially in this day and age. Like, I didn't speak too much on him because if you see the movie, it speaks for itself. Everything Mysterio did was based off of a lie and based off of one that he pulled off to a T. Mysterio's absolute perfection. And anyone who says otherwise is fucking wrong. He played Peter like a fucking fiddle.
Yeah.
I really don't think he's dead.
I also don't think he's dead.
Yeah.
I also don't think he's dead.
Like, why would
I don't buy into it.
Why would he bring Jake Gyllenhaal for one movie?
Right? And you spared the others, like, you know, Scorpion and, like, Vulture, so I'm like, you're making the Sinister Six. You gotta keep them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave us the Fearsome Five, but we want the Sinister Six. That was just five. The Furious Five. The Fearsome Five.
I do love the moment where, in Homecoming, where Spider-Man's trapped under the building and he has to lift up the rubble by himself.
Come on, Spider-Man! Fuck, I keep on referencing that every time. Every time I'm playing Fortnite and we're trying to win, I'm just like, come on, Spider-Man! Come on, Spider-Man! Oh, and that's also like a reference to one of the greatest panels Ditko ever. If there's one thing that Ditko did better than pretty much anyone at the time, it was water. Like the rain scenes for when Spider-Man gave up being Spider-Man and shit. Wait, no, that might have been Ramita. But my point is, like, the water in this scene where he's trying to lift it up, it's such a great reference to like the original Spider-Man art and some of the best panels in comics ever. And they did it in the first Spidey movie, which is why, like, no matter what anyone says about the Home trilogy, even after fucking No Way Home, I still think this is the best Spider-Man we've ever gotten, and the most respectful one. They really respected where he came from. They respected his material, gave us callbacks to things we never would have seen on screen otherwise. They developed him patiently. We got pretty much half a decade of development of this one character. And they put in so much care into developing every fucking aspect of it. And for him to come into his own like that with that scene of like, come on, Spider-Man! Was really, really good.
Yeah.
And like, he's been making small but painful sacrifices towards his own private life since the start.
Yeah.
He never got with Liz. He wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, he had to sacrifice that in order to be Spider-Man. Then he had to sacrifice his own vacation and his chance to hit on Mary Jane in Italy because he was Spider-Man. He got her in the end, but you know, he did sacrifice it for Spider-Man. And then No Way Home, he was just like, the Marvel writers was like, what does he have left? Take it all.
Take it all. Everything. Everything! No, but like... yeah, and I love how the names are very appropriate too. No Way Home. You could have just said that and then he could have gone back to his normal life with Aunt May. Nah. He can't go back home.
Anong
Boy
home,
cannot
home.
go back home.
Anong
Wala
home,
kang
home. Next movie is Spider-Man homeless. He couldn't make rent. Because he's a 15-year-old boy trying to make money in New York.
The next trilogy is called the Rent Trilogy.
There is... and I want to say the guy's gonna come back. The red guy's gonna come back.
I want the red guy so badly.
I want him and Ursula to come back.
I don't think Ursula would...
I want a recast Ursula.
I want to recast Ursula too. Because I feel like she's a little too old for
It's exactly
Peter now.
exactly the same character. She acts the same way. It's just a different actress, just to not make it weird. Hey Pete,
Hey Pete,
you want a glass of milk and chocolate cake?
Or the twist could be
It's weird as shit, but okay.
the twist could be that actress is the landlord now, the landlady. Like, hey Pete, where's my rent?
Oh, and she's Rent. Spider-Verse.
You want a cookie?
Branching out.
You want a cookie?
You-
Give me rent.
You want a glass of milk and chocolate cake? Rent.
I just want to hear Tom Holland going, "You want your rent? You better goddamn door."
You
Anyway,
get
we
your
pretty much
rent
reached the
with the
end.
Goddamn door.
Also, the last moment I would like to point out is the, oh no, my weakness, small knives.
Oh, yeah, knives.
Iconic.
Iconic.
Him,
But yeah, we pretty much reached the end of this fucking video. So like, I want to ask all of you guys, top 5. Oh, well, where would you base the movies? Like all of
top
them.
5? Fuck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask you to do all of them. Just give me your best 5.
Oh, yeah, random.
I'll go since I think this is relatively quick for me. No Way Home, Far From Home, Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1.
Alright. How about you, Enzo?
No Way Home, Homecoming, Amazing Spider-Man 1. Amazing
Okay.
Spider-Man 2, 1. Sorry. After Amazing Spider-Man.
You want to
Well,
list? You want to write it down first?
No.
Yeah, you want-
I'm on track. After Amazing Spider-Man is Far From Home, and then
Samsung notes it.
below that is Spider-Man 2, and below that is Amazing Spider-Man.
Cool.
Alright,
Oh, sorry,
alright.
3. Sorry, 3. But
No
yeah.
doubt.
No doubt. Anyway, yeah, No Way Home. I would say Far From Home as well. I'm sorry, Enzo. Oh no, No Way Home, Far From Home, Spider-Man 2, and then Amazing Spider-Man 2. Is that 4, right?
Do you want to
I
write
think
it down?
that's 4. You said 5.
Yeah, I know. Where I'm trying to recall where I'm at, and I would give Spider-Man 1. Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
the same area as
it's the
said.
same list. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like it's mostly like for the Green Goblin stuff and Bonesaw.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Bonesaw is ready.
But yeah, I think me and Seb pretty much have the same fucking list.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but like when Andrew Garfield was hunting down the killer, when I first watched this, I'm like, these guys kind of look like Triple H, like Dollar Store Triple
Because
H.
blonde hair,
Yeah,
kind of long, white
like,
guy.
Yeah, like Dollar Store Triple H. Like, oh, these are all double H's.
Double H's.
Double H.
Double H's.
It's Hulk Hogan.
It's a harder question. What would you rate the franchise?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I think we
You-
kind of rated it, didn't we? Oh, wait,
Uh,
the franchise as a whole?
Yeah, like Tom's, Tobey's, and Andrew's.
I would give Tom's a 9. I would give Andrew's a 7. And I would give Toby's an 8.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. I would give Tom Holland's a 10, because for as of now there hasn't been a miss with him. Andrew Garfield's, I'll give it an 8, and
You're very
for-
bad, Andrew Garfield.
yeah, he's so handsome.
Yeah.
But and then for Tobey Maguire, for pure nostalgia, and I grew up with him, I'll give him also an 8. Yeah, how about you, Andrew?
I'll give this Tom's at least a 10, like you.
At
with-
least a 10. That's the
At
top.
least?
That's the
That's-
top.
There should be
That's
more.
it.
There should be more.
Are we going to 100?
Why not? No. Yeah, 10 out of 10 for Tom. For Andrew, sure, you watching some of them? I might. 8. Minus the villains. He's great. Emma Stone's great. So
I
yeah.
really like lizards.
Not like lizards.
See,
Why are you
that's-
doing this? Lizards, bro.
Lizards are so fucking cool.
Also give
Turns
Tobey.
on the nozzle.
Also give Tobey's an 8.
Oh, okay, it's the same score as mine. Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, I can't wait to see what this franchise does next. And we're not done with Spider-Man for this year, because there's still Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, which I am.
2. Part 1, yeah, part 1.
Yeah, oh, fuck, we're in there.
Miguel O'Hara! Miguel
Oh, yeah, we got
O'Hara!
Miguel O'Hara. Fuck.
Oh man, I can't wait for that. But yeah,
Awesome, amazing.
Yeah, take us away.
that has been our incredibly coherent video on our rankings of Spider-Man movies. Sticking to the formula. But yeah, you can find us at facebook.com/geeksanddegenerates. My mind is always backwards for some reason, so when I say it, I'm like,
It's okay.
geeks. No, that's wrong.
Degenerates and the geeks.
Degenerates and the geeks.
Uh,
When I take over the channel, don't worry. No, I'm kidding. I love you.
Okay then. We react to trailers and...
Potential coup.
Dun, dun, dun.
Good at that.
We react to trailers and we stream some video games once in a while. And Mosh Pit is going to be on Facebook from now on. This is our last YouTube one. And the next one will be a bit more juicier.
Introspective.
Yeah.
Juicier.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
I don't
Because
know
it
what
deals
you're
with our
talking about.
lives.
Okay.
Our
Oh,
origin.
okay, got it.
Our origin story.
Our origin.
Yes. But yeah. How about you, Jomar? Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me at JomGeom. It's my Instagram account. Wow, I fucked it up. Anyway.
It happens.
Yeah. And where can we find you, Seb?
Here sometimes. And Facebook.com/Slurp Media. We stream every day. We do podcasts hopefully every week, maybe twice. We might do another one tonight on how people have handled the pandemic irresponsibly. So yeah, that's where you could find me. And you can find all of my friends there too. Not all of them, not you guys, but like Slurp Media is not just me. It's a lot of other people. If you guys have seen Ina on this channel, she's on there too with us. So yeah, if you want to catch me, if you want to catch Ina, maybe Gab has been here before. You can catch us at facebook.com/slurpmedia. Send stars or Gcash.
Yeah. And we are not done with Marvel. We have one more movie to go through. So that should be exciting.
Is it Iron Man 3? I'm just kidding.
Nah.
Damn it.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for watching the videos. Please continue to stay safe, wear a mask, social distance, and get vaccinated if you can. Hopefully by this time next year, we're all in a better state. We can watch movies and we can hang out face to face. That's all the time we have. See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Yeah.